Hey there, guys. We've got news for Global on September 21st, and this is basically just a follow up to the live stream that we had yesterday. So, after the live stream, I did a really in depth, detailed recap video with Taijia as a guest, and that covered the majority of the news already. So, if you want to see that, check out the live stream recap video. So today's news from in-game is mostly a follow-up of what we already saw, with a few surprises that I'm going to go over, and I'm going to be going over it just by myself because, we already did an hour-long discussion about most of the news with a guest last night. So as we know, we're getting the Parasite Eve collaboration. It's Aya Brea. The new information is the banner format. So she does have a vision card on her banner, as we kind of figured she might. So let's go ahead and pop over to the vision cards. We talked about her own vision card during the video last night. It's not very impressive. Here is the banner vision card, Blood Moon. I think this is Ella Spears in the art. I'm pretty sure that's her. It looks kind of like a fire sword, which is not Ella Spears, but it looks a lot like Ella Spears. Anyway, so this vision card seems really good. 1500 HP, 135 attack, a little bit on the lowish end compared to today's standards, but still pretty good. 100% attack and HP, 500 flat to both. And then the special effects are the really cool part. So boost damage of certain LBs at the beginning of battle. So once again, the news doesn't really give us the full details. We'll have to wait till Thursday for the data mine, but that's going to either be something like the Tyvis STMR, which would buff basically JP unit LBs, or it'll be something like the Cool Smile, which would boost up morale LBs. As far as what kind, that's going to, I guess, have to wait till Thursday's data mine. And then it also has targeted Dark Amplify of what looks like 100% Dark Imbue, Dark Amp. So this is a targeted ability, not a self-only. You can put this on a support unit or, your own unit, etc. But the Dark Amp is Brave Exvius locked only. And this card is really good because, for one thing, it's a great card for the upcoming Neovision's Awakened Axstar, who doesn't have a good Amplify for himself. This can give him a self-only, or it can target to anyone, but it'll give him a way to imbue himself for 100% Dark Amplify, and he could go on either Roka or a Tyvis party, because those are evocation leader skills, and that'll be really nice for him. It's really nice for really anyone that wants a Dark Amp. It's really good, and depending on what the second boost is, certain LBs. Now, if this is morale scaling LBs, that's going to be a pretty good card. If it's just, a similar copy of like Titus's STMR, or Black Flame Reagan's STMR, then it's good, but more of a convenience thing, not really a special effect, because that's pretty easy to get from, the other sources. But overall, the card is really good. And then once again, they are adding the Earth card to the general pool. That was discussed very heavily in the video last night. Anyway, as far as pricing goes, so the pity ticket is 10 tickets for a pity. So there's a few ways you can get a guaranteed copy of Aya. If you go for the special vision card and then go for pity on the second banner, it's going to cost you 54,000 lapis to get a pity copy plus the vision card. If you go for just Aya and skip the vision card, for example, you go to step 5 and then you change down here, so you're saving yourself 6k, because this does not give a pity ticket, it only gives the vision card. Then that'll cost you 48,000. So the cheapest pity Aya is going to be 48,000. Still higher than we're used to for non-premiums, so it's definitely a little more expensive. It's way more expensive than Addison Ray cost very recently. But hopefully the data mine and the unit power of Aya is worth the relatively high cost, because honestly speaking, going for the vision card seems really good. I'm going to probably go for the vision card. So basically 54,000 lapis for guaranteed Aya. It's pretty expensive, so I really, really hope she's worth the cost. And on Wednesday evening, I'll be doing my usual, video where we look at the unit first look, and I'll give you my final impressions of Aya Brea once we have the entire unit data up on the wiki. There's also this curated NV summon ticket. Now this one's a little bit unusual. So right here, it's really hard to see. If you look closely, these are pity tickets, these little dark red ones, and these light red ones are curated. So the curated tickets are right here. There's one, then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 per lap down here. The unit pity tickets are these. You get 5 through here. And then here's the kind of thing that we're confusing people. This ticket right here is not a pity ticket. The pity tickets are right here, here, and here. So only 3 per lap on the bottom. So you need 15 of these curated tickets to get a selection of these. Not random. You choose which of these 5 units you want. Either Snovlenka, Flaring Rain, Blades of Black Flame Reagan, Dark Knight Dwayne, or Van Harma. But it costs 15 tickets. Now, if you're going for the pity and you walk away after the pity immediately, you're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to end up with 8 out of the required 15. So you're going to be 7 short. Now, in the exchange shop, there is these tickets as well. I don't know how many tokens they're going to cost, but you're going to be getting from the step up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You're going to be getting 14 of these pity tokens. Assuming you spend 5 of them for 50 fragments, which is the usual cost, and you definitely should. So that's going to leave you with 9 summon tokens remaining, and you're going to need 7 of these to complete the thing. So if they cost 1 token per 1 ticket, well, then we can also we can walk away with a curated NV summon ticket. If it costs more than 1 token per ticket, then it depends what it costs. But if it only costs 1 token per ticket, then we can get both the card, the pity, and the guaranteed Neo, all for 54k, which seems like a decent banner, I guess, depending on how many it costs. Anyway, so as far as the Aya Brea, we discussed that very heavily in the detailed after live stream video last night. So not really much new in the news. This is all stuff we covered last night. So if you want to hear more discussion about Aya Brea, check out the video that me and Taijia did last night. The event dungeon, again, we covered this last night. Not a whole lot more to say. We went over all this during the recap video last night. The bonus units are Clash of Wills category, so just make sure you've got a Clash of Wills unit set as your friend so that you can farm the dungeon a little bit easier. You help your friends out. There is going to be a special battle versus the Ultimate Being. So that'll be interesting. Depending on how hard it is, we will go in there and we will fight it, and I'll do that on Thursday as well. Login rewards. Again, we covered this on the live stream. We covered this on the live stream video. You're getting a free lefty, etc. I just wanted to point out, now that we know all the details, it's actually a 21-day login. We're getting a guaranteed NV and a bunch of other neat little perks like VIP coins, decent chunk of lapis, etc. 50 lefty fragments, kind of neat. They didn't mention that on the live stream, so kind of cool. So you're getting her EX1 guaranteed even if you never had her before. So that's kind of nice. Again, we covered this in the live stream video, but a lot of free pulls, and you're getting them for 21 days, it looks like. So 21 times 11 is a lot of summons. So that'll be a lot of free summons. Very, very nice. And then Clash of Wills, and again, we covered most of this on the recap video. There's a little bit of new information, though. So the new information is right down here. So right here. So for this boss, there is not going to be a turn count. So take as long as you want. There's going to be a final morale value instead. You've got to end the fight at 180% or better. Kind of the same thing they had last month, but last month it was very glitched and bugged, and they just left it that way. So, we'll have to see if we really need to fill the morale gauge or if that bug still exists. I would assume the bug has been fixed by now. Also, the enemy is bulkier based on the new challenge option, 175 more HP. That's going to be a very bulky boss. And here is some new changes. So, the following changes will be implemented starting this Clash of Wills event. So this is like a ongoing permanent change from now on. First of all, the damage cap has been increased. So we are used to 2.5 billion damage being the target. You now have to deal more damage than 2.5. They don't tell you the exact amount. A lot of people are speculating in Discord chat saying like 5 billion is going to be the new target. But until we get in there on Thursday, they're not telling us the exact amount. All we know is it's going to be higher than 2.5 billion. So I guess those 900% leader skills, they want us to use them. Although currently the only one in game is Lightning, and she's not really a good leader for this Clash of Wills. So yeah, we will have to see exactly how hard it is to cap on Thursday. I'll be live streaming or trying to live stream, and we'll see how it goes. Another change is the maximum amount of morale gauge in Echelon 5 has been increased. What that means is the bar to fill the morale gauge is going to take more to fill. So, the UI will look the same. It's still going to look the same on the UI. But just as an example, if you, for example, used Rick's Magnus, which would fill 1,000 morale, let's just say that used to fill 6% on the bar. It'll now fill less on the bar. So the short version of this means it's going to be harder to fill the morale gauge. You're going to need to use more morale to max it out to 200%. As far as how much more, they don't really tell us in the news. We just know it's going to be harder to fill the morale gauge. So hopefully you have things like, Melissa, etc., etc. And then the last big change is they are adjusting the Remedial Will. So for those of you that don't know, Remedial Will is that ability that was a huge trap in Clash of Wills. That was the dispel everything button, including your buffs. And a lot of players would use that accidentally, myself included, and it would just remove all your buffs and you would just die. Finally, after 2.5 years of people saying that is just a terrible design, they are finally updating it. So Remedial Will basically will not remove your buffs anymore. Now it becomes an actually useful ability. It'll cure all your debuffs, all your negative effects. It also cures things like zombie. Right here it even says it'll cure zombie. So, but it's no longer going to remove your buffs. So huge upgrade on that. We can now actually use a, emergency cure button. I love that. I love that. So harder to cap, harder to fill morale gauge, and we have a new emergency button that is actually worth using. Other than that, it seems to be the same as usual. This is the final boss of the season, so make sure after you finish this boss, you go and spend all your drops, because they're not going to be good for the next month's boss. But yeah. I'm assuming this is going to be relatively challenging to cap. I will hopefully live stream this on Thursday. That's kind of it. We spent a long time talking about the news last night. Not a whole lot more to go over in the day 2 stuff, so harder to cap Clash, a really interesting vision card, and we now have the pricing on the Aya banner. The rest of it was all covered last night. So okay, I will see you guys on Wednesday evening, where we look at the data mine for Aya and we decide if she's good or not. And then on Thursday, I will hopefully be live streaming Clash of Wills, and we will see if this new damage cap is you know, reasonable to hit? We'll find out. Okay, see you then.